It's a pleasure. I always look forward to my time here at GII with the people. It's a privilege to spend time with the people who actually literally build the planet. So it's a real honor. In keeping with that, I wanted to start this by stepping us a little bit back from the nitty-gritty of it all and to take a little bit of a bigger, broader perspective. And the image I wanted to start by sharing with you is this. So we all know the world is moving fast, and we as the people who build this fast-moving world might, ask me why a caterpillar. It's not really the fastest animal on, but that's not, I think, the point of this. And I'm not saying that you're caterpillars either. So, but if you put yourself in the caterpillar's shoes, and there are many of them, you can imagine things might be. Things are going normally, everything is great, we're building stuff, we're eating, we're growing, and all of a sudden the world starts to become a little darker, and it's harder to get things done, and we're slowing down, and something is about to change, and we don't know what it is, because you're actually, and we think this is what's happening, entering something of a profound transition. And the caterpillar doesn't know that. Doesn't know that it's a butterfly in waiting. So, this transition. We're here to talk about SMART, but SMART is an overlay on our physical traditional infrastructure. For us, SMART is this digital overlay of sensors, of analytics, of decision-making that ultimately transforms the environment. It is infrastructure, but it's infrastructure that is more effective in what it promises, and it's more efficient in how it delivers. And what it delivers is a better quality of life. It delivers health. It delivers environment. It delivers social connectedness, time, convenience, safety, cost of living, jobs. Now, by this point, you're asking me, I've heard a lot of this before. I think I recall some tech company's presentation. So is it actually real? Well, we went out over the last year or so and we surveyed 60+ applications to see and to quantify how real is this, things that are already there today. And this is what we found. First of all, SMART saves time. I think we can buy that. So it saves commute times 15 to 20% through everything from traffic signals to real-time navigation, congestion pricing, and this is in Lagos. Now, Lagos, you say, is a low bar, right? But it's also true in New York, Rio, Moscow, a week a year for the average Muscovite. Some of you might have heard that. So SMART saves time. SMART saves lives. In an average high-crime city, you find up to 300 lives a year are saved by SMART through, yes, predictive policing, but also through e-hailing, slowing people down, sharing the road a little bit more. And these are additive opportunities, so they come on top of each other. SMART saves the planet. Greenhouse gases can be reduced by 10 to 15%. Again, everything from building automation to electricity pricing to congestion pricing, perhaps in theory in one day in New York. So these things seem to make a difference. So who is doing it? Well, what we see is that cities are in a race. We went, along with the 60 applications, we looked at 50 cities. And I think what's fair to say is that we didn't find a smartest city. We found cities that the best we got was 70. So everybody gets a C, which means there's still an opportunity to be the smartest city. But it also speaks to the race, to the speed and the pace and the need for change that we see. And so why is that? Well, let's start by saying, who is that? It's fair to say that the younger, faster growing cities that are putting in infrastructure are in the lead, notably Asian cities, but not only. So, and it's including the city that we're in today, London and New York, are also in the lead when it comes to deploying the hardware, but also the software, and changing the way in which the decisions are made. And again, why so fast? Well, these cities are simply trying to keep up with their customers. And their customers are people like this. This is my teenage son, whose digital skills far outpace mine. And his usage habits also are very different. So he has no expectations of driving a car. He doesn't want to own a car either. So, and he's not, of course, alone, is that most people in emerging Asian countries, and for that matter, millennials, will show you this, that will say that I can live without a car, I can rent when I need a car, I can share, and I'm going to actually get there faster. They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait for a doctor's appointment. They don't want to wait for a slow-moving, arriving, publicly scheduled bus. They certainly don't want to wait 3 to 5 years for the next wave of infrastructure expansion. So with that, should we wait? Because there's a risk of waiting. To continue with the caterpillar analogy, there are predators which can evolve, can prey on the butterfly in waiting during the chrysalis stage, wasps, black-billed orioles, mice. And as is true across most industry, time is short. The average lifetime of companies is declining. 70 years ago, if you were a big company, you were an old company. Today, if you are a big company, you're a young company. The average tenure on the S&P 500 has declined by 83% over the last 70 years. And we worry. We worry for the construction industry. So that only in one recent survey, only 16% felt that they even needed a strategy. 28% had a digital strategy. The rest of them were somewhere in the middle. But even of the ones who have it, very few were confident that it was going to be good enough. And they worried about the competitive threats, the shrinking, the commoditization, all of which is to say, this is pretty much of a use it or lose it kind of proposition. So what do we do? Well, take a few lessons from history. The Roman road was perhaps one of the biggest infrastructure disruptions ever. How did that happen? Essentially 4 things. First of all, an effective business model where the public officials and the armies went for free, but the commercial travelers paid, and the commerce paid even more to create toll houses, which became cities, land value capture. They had a common standard, common language, common currency. They had new skills, technical skills to implement these new projects. And we had the political will to get it done and to trade off between the short-term need to invade other countries and the long-term need to grow an economy. But what about us? As companies, we are here in the city that Isambard Brunel was built, and I'm going to just read a quote from him. We have to be speeding up. Unlike the caterpillar, we can see what's going to happen. So we should speed up, otherwise we're at risk. So he said, I am opposed to the laying down of rules or conditions to be observed in the construction of bridges, lest the progress of improvement tomorrow might be embarrassed or shackled by recording or registering as law the prejudices or errors of today. The caterpillar doesn't know what it can become, but we do. Thank you.
Welcome to GII.